All right, now it's time for this week's Cultural Atlas, and today we are taking a look at the latest issue of El Palacio magazine, New Mexico's premier magazine of art, history, and culture of the Southwest. This month's edition explores the misunderstood history behind hobo art, the revolutionary work by one of Santa Fe's top native artists, and it peels back the layers of the historic Palace of the Governors. Joining us now is Candace Walsh, editor of El Palacio magazine. Candace, good to see you.
Good to see you.
I got to tell you, I am really happy about the cover story. One of my favorite works that I have seen exhibitions in Santa Fe, and it is Frank Buffalo Hyde's Eyewitness Culture.
Sure. So his theme really is about how, when you see the cover, and there are several paintings like this where he's placing a device, a cell phone or an iPad, between you and the focal point, and he's saying, hey, like, what are you doing when you look at things? Is your phone in the middle?
Right.
He really believes that we need to be in the moment, relating to each other, because that's getting away from us. And at the same time, he does think that technology is a good thing because he uses it as like a scrapbook, to collect ideas for future painting. So it's not a Luddite thing. It's more like let's be friendly and civil and together.
Yeah, and I think that that's an interesting thing, is that it's not really a criticism, it's an observation. And he's, a really interesting artist, and he's got a variety of different works in there. Like I said, there's some that are on my Christmas list. I want to bring home with me. They're fantastic. I think you also, and this is something that I was unfamiliar with before reading about it, and that's Tramp Art.
Tramp Art, yeah. I mean, there are a lot of misconceptions about Tramp Art. People think that they were made by tramps or hobos whittling away on the choo-choo train. They think that it's made out of tin cans. But in fact, it's a wonderful art, and it's family men from like the 1870s to the 1930s, that was the heyday, during a time when it was considered that idle hands were the devil's workshop. They would take up this craft and they would sit around, after dinner, after their work was done for the day, and they would just whittle away at these pieces of cigar box and create these amazing things.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Like I said, something new that was I was very unfamiliar with. And speaking of new, there's some new discoveries that you have about the Santa Fe Trail. Is that right?
That's right. The Santa Fe Trail, we think about it in terms of us, Santa Fe or this area being the destination. This is where people arrived. But in fact, it's easy to forget that St. Louis is the other end of the Santa Fe Trail.
Yeah.
And that, for into the 1700s and into the early 1800s, New Spain didn't, or even, Mexico did not want traders coming down to try to swap really awesome objects for money or just trade things. And they were imprisoned. People from St. Louis who were trying to open up that market were imprisoned or turned away, in really bad weather conditions. But in 1821, William Bucknell and his small group they were met by the New Mexico militia, and they were welcomed to Santa Fe. They sold everything, and then they came back with more, and it opened up this portal to a really great trade that it was good for the St. Louis economy, and it was also good for New Mexicans who got to have new interesting things and sell their things as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, that's a part of the trail that we never really heard of before. Another, I think that's great, speaking of discoveries, there are some new discoveries at the Palace of the Governors.
Sure.
So,
right? Yeah, last fall, Steve Post, and he wrote about it, last fall he and his team, they removed the stucco from the palace courtyard walls. This contained old cement, and we now know that cement is terrible for adobe. It creates a situation where the adobe dissolves as water seeps through.
Really?
So they removed that to cover it with something more sustainable, and in the process they found really interesting things. Like in the stucco they found bone, like animal bones, pottery fragments, and they also noticed this patchwork of different kinds of treatments and materials, showing all the different ways that there were renovations and restorations that happened over hundreds of years, depending on the values of the people in charge at the time. And the Palace of the Governors used to be 90 feet wider, but in the 1867 that was all demolished. 90 feet of Palace of the Governors rooms were just demolished. And so you think about it as being one shape and having one footprint, but in fact, it's been morphing in and out of all these different ways.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Now, last but not least, you also have an interview with an Albuquerque potter named Jody Naranjo. Tell us a little bit
Jody
about
is one of the most well-known potters. She's from Santa Clara Pueblo, and she's a big star at Indian Market every year. And she's being honored by Native Treasures, and she's going to have a show at MIAC called Revealing Joy. And so we got to actually get to know her beyond the art, the artist, and the pottery. And we found out that she likes to carve her pots in her pajamas at home in Albuquerque, with the TV and her dog, or maybe on the porch. She has 3 daughters, and when they were younger, she would give them clay, and they would make animals together. And so those animals ended up getting bought by her clients and by gallery owners.
Wow.
And it really took off. Something that she did with her kids to just bring them into what she was doing, working at home, became this whole other branch of her business, where now you can go to Blue Rain Gallery in Santa Fe and there's a whole line of bronze cast animals from that time.
That's amazing. So very quickly, before we lose time, where can we get El Palacio
You can
magazine?
get it at museums of New Mexico, and you can get it around Santa Fe. You can also just go to elpalacio.org and subscribe or find out other locations.
Fantastic, Candace. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Again, guys, if you want more information about El Palacio magazine, just head over to foxnewmexico.com.